Hey team, in the next 10 minutes I'm going to show you how to smash your goals this term. Now a big thank you to Pam and to Shelley for your courage in putting your goals out into our community. Very much appreciated. For the other people, be brave like Pam and Shelley and put yourself out there. Some people, I know this is a really sort of foreign or artificial process for you, so have a crack at it. There's a reason why I'm doing this, and whether it be parenting, whether it be your own well-being, whether it be in your work situation, many times we don't achieve what we set out to because we haven't been really clear and explicit and mindful in terms of where we're heading. Okay, so this process is going to help you get clarity, and it's going to help make sure that you can get the support that you need from us to get where you want to be going. Okay, so we've covered this a bit here. I'm going to head straight into it. We've covered the iSmart goal, the inspiring, specific, measurable, achieve it, realistic, time bound, etc. We've gone through that. The bit that I'm going to come back to today is the so that, and so that needs to be inspiring. And the more emotionally driven that is for you, the bigger the so what for you. That's going to be where the magic happens. Okay, so let's keep it really simple. By when? By the end of this term. So I've written that bit in for you. Okay, so by the end of this term, I will, and that's where you're going to write in. This is the only bit that you need to do. So I can't highlight that. Maybe I can. Yeah. Okay. By the time frame, by the end of this term, I will. What is it that you're going to have achieved? And so that. And the so that needs to be inspiring. That's where the I part of that goal comes in. Okay, so for the teachers among us, here's a goal, teacher example. By the end of 2020, I'll have participated in a range of instructional strategies, professional learning opportunities, and trial tactics in my class so that I can build my instructional repertoire and engage my students. Okay, so let's break that down a little bit. I've participated in a range. I'm going to do some learning. I'm going to try out that learning with my class so that I can build my instructional repertoire and engage my students. Now, for a teacher, engaging students, usually something you guys are pretty fired up about, so that's something for you that would be inspiring. It's measurable, it's achievable, you've got the term to work on it. Okay, it's relevant to your job as a teacher. Another example, by the end of 2020, I've created and used a range of ICT resources so that I can engage students in their learning. So created and used a range of resources, so we can check those off. We spoke to you about behaviours a little while ago. So behaviours, have you created the resources? Check. Have you used them in your classroom? Check. So you can go through and check off what it is that you're doing. So if we move now to a health and well-being, your fitness, for example, by the end of this term, I will use my unbreakable sleep routine so that I have more energy to do things that I enjoy with my kids. Okay, so this is one. Now, if you don't have one, then part of that goal would be I'm going to create one and then I'm going to stick to it. Okay. Now, a lot of you take on a lot of things for a lot of people. So in our coaching training, when Nicole and I did our coaching training, they spoke a lot about monkeys and monkeys that we carry for other people. So part of taking those monkeys off and giving them, or not taking them on in the first place, is about saying I can confidently, so by the end of this term, I can confidently say no to other people so that I have more time for me. Okay, super simple. Next one, I'll make and follow a plan to best nourish my body so I can be at my ideal weight. Now, at my ideal weight, they may not be as inspiring. There'll be a deeper emotional reason there. Maybe you've got an event coming up that you want to look your best for. Maybe I spoke with one of our ladies around pregnancy. So if you're trying for a baby, the nourishment and the nutrients that you're trying to give your body are going to be really different. If you've just had a baby, they're going to be really different. If you're premenopausal, they're going to be different if you have thyroid functioning issues and you need to have certain trace elements in your diet to be able to get your thyroid functioning as optimally. So, but again, it's make and follow a plan. Make and follow a plan to best nourish my body. So that would be something that would be individual for you. So think of what that would be for you. Okay. Now this goal I'll come back to this one and talk a bit more. So I'll be at, by the end of this term, I'll be at 66 kilos, so that. Make sure that the so that is worth it. Okay? Make sure the so that is worth it. There is risks with this sort of outcome goal. Oh my gosh, I'll have to work out how to turn off Facebook notifications next time. I'll have to, so a bit of caution with the outcome goal is that with the 66 kilos, now, you know, it can still be, if we go back, it's definitely specific, it's definitely measurable, it's definitely relevant for your goals, it's time bound, it's inspiring, so it's got all the bits there. Now the bit here around achievable, maybe around the time we measure, maybe that's a time within your cycle where you normally retain fluid. Maybe you were sick and weren't able to train. Maybe you were highly stressed out, which means your body's going to try and hang on to all of the energy it can, and it's not going to shed fat easily. So there are risks in terms of having a particular goal, such as a weight goal, because there are many factors that are beyond your control that could impact that goal. So water retention, hormones, cycle, stress, sleep, just to name hydration, just to name a few. So there are many things that some of them are within your control, but some of them are outside of your control. So just a word of caution with the 66 kilo or with a particular weight type of goal, because that, if you're the kind of person that then beats yourself up when you don't get to that, and you know who you are. So if you're that kind of person that beats yourself up, having a particular number can actually leave you really disappointed and beating yourself up for a while. So a more helpful goal perhaps is this kind of thing here, and I'm going to make and use an unbreakable sleep routine. I'm going to confidently say no to other people. I'm going to make and follow a plan to best nourish my body, because they are things that are all within your control to do. Okay, so that's the step one there on the goal. So your only task, let's come back to your only task, is to complete this bit here. By the end of this term, I will so that. That's it. By the end of this term, I will fill in the 2 blanks there. That's your only task so far. Okay? And if you want to have a goal that's more food and fitness related, or more mood and family related, then you've got the option there to do that. For some of you, one of those will definitely talk more to you than the others. You might say, look, I need to focus on my family at the moment, or I need to focus on managing my mood this term, or I need to focus on eating in a more healthy and sustainable manner, or I need to focus on just getting to training so that I can feel great and have that strength and energy back that I miss. So pick one of those 4 areas and base your goal around that. Okay, now in relation to your goal, this is some of this magical stuff that we did. I'm just going to see if I can move you over a little bit. That we did at coaching. So it's really simple but powerful tools. So first step, you've got your goal, write it down here. Write it down. I'm going to give you guys this document, so write it down here. Second step, what are the things that are already happening? So there will already be things, for example, if your goal was around health or weight loss, for example, there will already be things that are working well for you in relation to weight loss. Write those down. And even better if. So write the things here that would, you know what, I'm doing this well, I'm planning out my meals. So what's working well? I'm planning out my meals, I'm doing my meal prep on a Sunday. Excellent. Those 2 things are working well. What would be even better if would be that I plan meals on a Friday lunchtime when I tend to go out and eat takeout. So simple. Options. What are some of the things that you could do this term? Now, this is just a brainstorm list, because our brain sort of shuts down and we can become very focused on particular things. So this is just about opening that up a little bit and saying, well, what are the possibilities? What are some of the things that I could do? Just name, brainstorm any things that I could do this term to help progress that goal. Just get them down there. Next step, what will you do? So out of those options, which ones do you think are going to move the dial most for you? What behaviours would help you progress? This is where we come back to, this is where I put in a little bit of our Team Everett flavour. What behaviours will help you progress your goals? Behaviour, something that you can observe. Okay, something you can see, something you can count, something you can tick off. Okay, so that's when you can write around sleep or your weight. What are the things that you're going to do? So that every week, for example, we can go check, 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 check. Done that. Set myself a sleep routine. Followed it 5 out of 7 nights. Set myself a meal plan. Follow that 5 out of 7 days. What are the things that you're actually going to do that are going to help you progress that goal? This is where the rubber hits the road. Most people can set goals, and whilst it's a tricky process for some, they can sort of get there. The rubber hits the road when you start talking about, well, what are you actually going to do that's going to take action steps towards that goal. Okay, habits. So the will and tactics, and that's the growth model is quite a commonly used model in coaching. Growth Coaching International, where Nicole and I did our training, used the growth model. So the will and tactics and the habits. So the habits are, what do you need to do to remind yourself? What are the supports that you can seek from others? So in our SciFit tribe, we're here for you. We're here to make sure that you achieve what you want to, provided you take a little bit of time and go through this activity. What kind of support would you need from us to make sure that you achieve your goals? Okay, and that is it. That is it. So if you, the second part of that sheet is just if you've picked a second goal. But for the first goal, it's just to go through this sheet. Write your goal here. Write down what's already working. What's working well here. That starts to open your mindset up. What would be even better if, you know what, and you guys know that, you're honest with yourself, write down, well, it'll be even better if I stopped having Fat Friday lunch. Great, okay, write that in. Options. Open it up. Open your mind a little bit, just go nuts, just write down a whole bunch of stuff there. So when you show me this, you should have a bunch of things written down here. And here is only a few, 3 or 4 things that we can tick off over the course of the term to say, yep, done, 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 done. Simple. All right. Support, what do you need from us? What do you need to do to remind yourself? That's it. I've gone a little bit over 10 minutes, but I wanted just to walk you through this sheet. I'll send you this sheet. Please ask if there's any questions and use this sheet. Nicole and I have been doing this stuff for a little while. We know that it's something that professional people, really experienced teachers really struggle with in their work. It's something that we've had a bunch of psychologists doing this. We struggle with this stuff because it's not common practice. It's common sense. It's not common practice for us. Okay, so I walked you through it. Have a crack at it. Any questions, ask us. Use the template that I provided. I've given it to you guys for a reason. It's broken down into the most simple steps to help make it as easy as possible for you. All right, get it done. Let me know if you've got any queries along the way. Post them in the group, and that way we can help you. Your question will more than likely help someone else as well. All right. Thanks for watching. Get it done and let us know.